Hello, my name is Paula Marcela Ruiz Nieto, and I am studying English as a foreign language in the UNAT DCA of Chiquinquirá, Boyacá, and today I am interviewing teacher Alexander Mote. He is both English and French teacher in Simijaca, Cundinamarca. Thank you for being with me here today.
Thank you
teacher.
for inviting me.
I actually studying a course of language and culture, and we are studying how we can teach culture when we have different curriculums of foreign languages. So I have a couple of questions to ask.
Yes, of course.
First, what do you think about culture?
For me, culture is part of the language. Okay, so it's very important to teach the language and the culture at the same time.
Okay. And what is the influence of culture in the process of a foreign language process?
Okay, I will give you an example, a very important influence in the process of teaching English. There are mainly two cases. When, for example, on the first hand, you have a classroom where everyone has the same language, the same culture, so the teacher will mainly focus on the similarities and differences between the American and English culture and, for example, if we are here in Latin America, between the culture from the Colombian culture, okay? So this is the first case, and this is the most common or the most simple. Okay, and on the second hand, you have the case where you have a multicultural classroom, and in this case is more complex because you have a classroom where you have many cultures, many languages, and the mission of the teacher here is more complex. So the influence here will be to take advantage of those cultures, and at the same time, the students will learn from each other. Okay, so for me, this is the main influence. In the process of teaching.
Like integrating either the target culture,
yes,
or like the different cultures in a multicultural
inside the classroom
environment.
And compare cultures.
Like to create some cultural awareness.
Yes, exactly.
I understand. Okay. And then what do you consider are the most important elements to success in the second language learning?
Okay.
After all the years
yes.
of experience that you have acquired.
The one element would be to teach the students to be in contact as much as possible with the target language.
Okay.
Because as it is a second language, most of the time we are not, or the students are not in a country where they can be in contact with this language, so they have to be in contact with it with movies, music. They have to travel. They have to talk with native people.
Okay.
So it would be that. Yes.
Okay. I would like to ask you two last questions. And the first one, what skill do you think is the most difficult either to teach or to learn when we are teaching and learning a foreign language? You know that we have listening, writing, reading, speaking.
It would be first grammar, and it would be speaking with phonetics. Grammar because it is very difficult to find ways to give the structures,
Uh-huh.
give the structures in a fun way
Uh-huh.
or in the best way possible. Not only give the structure directly, give the solution directly, but let the students find out why these structures work like this.
Work like that.
Like work on videos, on text, and guide the students until they guess the structure. Okay, so the mission here is to let them understand by themselves and not give them everything.
Everything.
And the speaking, because there is a barrier, there is a big difficulty here for the students because they have their own phonics and they have to learn new ones. So it's a process as well. You have different techniques, and it's the mission here for the teacher to continue and guide them and
encourage
do exercises, and in the context where you have a multicultural classroom, it's more difficult because they have different languages, and different languages mean different phonics, different alphabets.
Yeah.
So here it's more complex, and in the classroom where you have every student with the same language, the teacher can focus on this language with this alphabet and these phonics, and he can resolve the problems more quickly.
I understand. Okay. And another question, I know that you teach different type of students, but mainly young teenagers.
Yes.
Do you find it difficult to teach them?
Well, it depends. It depends on each student.
Uh-huh.
But I would say if they come to class with a good attitude, with the desire to learn, it always helps. So it really depends.
Okay.
But if you are in a private school, you will have students that come to learn and they want to listen to you, and they will improve quickly.
Okay.
So, but if you teach in a public school, there the context is very different.
The group is much bigger than it usually is in a private.
Not all students want to learn. So here it's more work. It's more, you have to find strategies to keep everyone learning, motivated. Yes.
I forgot to ask you something before,
Yes.
and it's how do you involve culture in the strategies that you use in your English classes? How do you take the cultural aspect?
Normally, in each lesson plan, I would try to include 1 or 2 points to 1 or 2 cultural points to make them discover some cultural aspects from the country, for example, England or America.
Okay.
And with these exercises, I would also make them think and compare those points with their own culture.
In this case, specifically with the Colombian culture.
Yes. So, yes, it's very good to try every time in each lesson plan to include some cultural aspects. And those cultural aspects can be, it's not only art, it's not only movies, it's also the way people behave. How you behave in Colombia, how you behave in England, how do you speak, what are the manners. Okay, so it would be that. I would include movies as well, and music and literature, and you can visit museum online. You can make activities with that, but also how things work in each country.
And I compare it to their own.
Yes.
You think it's a good method. Okay, well, this is all for today. And then, well, thank you very much,
Thank
Teacher
you
Alex.
to you as well.
And thank you to everyone for listening and
Thank
watching.
you for listening, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.